In this week's episode of Hunter x Hunter, the chairman election is coming to an end, and it's Leario versus Periston. And thanks to Killua and Aluka, Gon has finally recovered. Yes, my friends, the main hero, Gon Freaks, has finally returned, and he looks better than ever. He's even got his arm back, he's got his old, bubbly, happy-go-lucky personality before he went completely nanners during the Chimera Ant arc. This is going to be an emotional roller coaster for many, and it's one of the few episodes of the series where I started to get really choked up. Especially that scene where Gon finally arrived at the election room, and Leario could see him standing at the top of the stairs. He immediately started to run away from the podium, and both him and Gon had one of the most epic bro hugs ever seen in an anime series. It was just fantastic, and it also featured probably the only sincere Periston moment, and that's when he started up the slow clap. The scene here, it was fantastic. The build-up to it was astronomical, and I love that when Aluka used her powers for the first time, everybody could feel it. Everybody at the hospital could see the Nen exploding into the sky, and everybody back at the chairman election could feel the power. It was kind of like in Dragon Ball Z when they're like, I've never felt a power like this before. We also finally get to see the damage that was done to Gon's body, and frankly, it's way worse than I thought it was going to be. They showed hints of it before, but in this week's episode, when Killua and Aluka finally go to his bedside, she requests to see his hand, and it looks like a mummified corpse's arm. It doesn't even resemble Gon in the least. And you can see this really upsets Killua, and this combined with the animation, the artwork, and the music made this scene work. The other thing that was really cool about this is not only did everybody just like feel this power and was completely amazed by it, but Illumi has big plans for Aluka in the future. He actually claims that he might be able to tame her power or control it, and he wants it for himself. What this means, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to read the manga series. So when Gon finally comes back to the election room, everybody starts to cheer him on, everybody's happy, and everything seems to be working in Periston's favor, and that's because he sort of expected all of these events to happen. And in a scene that's very similar to when Jing came in before the election, and he predicted how all of the voting was going to go down, Periston has sort of done the same thing with the entire voting and the election process. And obviously he's been playing sort of like fast and loose with everything because he doesn't want to win, he doesn't want to lose, and that's what's just really interesting about this character because it's pretty clear that he's got like some bad motives going on. They've hinted that he's going to be a bad guy of some sort. Maybe he's going to be sort of like an anti-hero, sort of like Hisoka, where he can be really evil and creepy one moment, but then just decide to help the main characters another. He's a very complex character, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with that. But the thing that I'm really excited about was hinted at the very end of this week's episode, where Gon realizes that Jing is sitting in the front row, all the way down at the bottom, and he starts to get visibly excited, but Jing is the exact opposite. I don't think this is the way he pictured meeting his son, especially after this long period of time. I just figured maybe he wanted to meet him on some sort of grand adventure when he was a little bit older. But it looks like he's going to have to face facts. He is going to have to interact with his son and try to be a damn dad for a couple of freaking minutes. I cannot wait to see what their interaction is going to be like. It's either going to be an emotional wreck, or he's just going to try and escape and run away and not be seen by his son at all. I just do not know what's going to happen. What I will say is, this week's episode was fantastic. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Hunter x Hunter? Very good episode, not too much happened. But what did happen is huge. Gon is finally back. It's the first time that we've actually seen him in a really long time, since the very end of his fight, and that was back in the Chimera Ant arc. And we've been on this chairman election arc for a couple of months now, so it's about damn time we got to see him again. And it's of course very bittersweet, because we're getting to the very end of this series, although I am hoping that when we get to the end of the episodes, they'll start to hint that the anime's A, either going to come back, or B, just read the manga series. Who knows? All I know is I'm excited for the future of Hunter x Hunter. I can't wait to read the manga and see how the story is going to continue, and I can only pray that the anime is going to return. This week's episode did a great job of showing and not telling too much. There were a lot of scenes that really made use of just the animation, especially the scene where Aluka was finally healing Gon, and all of the power was going up into the sky. There was very little dialogue at the beginning, and you were just there, immersed, looking at this crazy power. And Aluka's power really does sort of catch the attention of a lot of people, so I imagine that she's going to end up being a very important character, especially because Killua claims that Aluka's going to be with him the entire time. So does that mean that, like, Killua and Gon are now going to have a brand new teammate in the form of Aluka? They're adding a female to the team? I don't know how that's going to change the dynamic, or even if we're ever going to see Kurapika again. Where the hell has he been, and what is he doing, aside from just wearing a fancy suit and brooding in a dark room? Who does he think he is, Batman? Anywho, this was a great episode right here. It had a lot of great emotional moments. So overall, this was a pretty damn good episode with some great production value, and we got to see the return of the popular main character, Gon Freaks. I cannot wait to see him finally meet his father. It's going to be one of the big moments that we have all been waiting for. So I'm going to give this week's episode a 5 out of 5. Check it out, guys. Pretty good stuff. Thank you guys for watching my review today. Before you leave, make sure to hit that like button so you can give this video a thumbs up. And make sure to tell me what you guys thought about this week's episode of Hunter x Hunter. How did you feel about Gon returning? Did you think it was awesome? And what do you think is going to go down when he finally interacts with his father? And make sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not already. And you guys can also follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. There'll be links for all that stuff in the description box below.
Do you like Amazon.com? I know I do. Corey and I now have an Amazon link in our video description box below. And if you go to it and buy anything through Amazon.com, it will support our channel. So bookmark that link, make it happen, and support our channel without having to do a damn thing.
Another great way you guys can help support our channel is by donating directly through our PayPal link in the description box below. We recommend $2 a month, although this is completely optional. But the best way to go about this is by sneaking into your mom's room and taking $2. This way, she won't even notice. And we won't have to shake you up for all of your lunch money. So guys, that concludes this review today. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.